What's up, buds? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success, and I recently just had a meeting with my bookkeeper about the profitability of my clothing brand and the ways that we can make my clothing brand more profitable. And one thing that I realized is that the two biggest expenses for my own clothing brand are advertising and shipping. Because in Canada, shipping is extremely expensive right now. And so the amount that I'm charging my customers for shipping isn't how much my shipping carriers are charging me. So these are two areas of my clothing brand that I need to work on. And there's a huge lesson in here that I figured I would share with you, which is that I don't believe advertising should be your main marketing strategy. I think that advertising needs to be a supplement, because if you look at your clothing brand, cost of goods is anywhere between 30 to 50% of your expenses. And then you need to also somehow maintain your margins to be profitable while spending money on all of your other expenses, like advertising, which is a huge expense for a lot of clothing brands trying to get their brand out there. And so I want to talk to you about how I view this moving forward, how I'm adjusting this within my own clothing brand, and I hope it helps you as well. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd, and if designs are something that you struggle with, I really recommend that you try them out. You post a project on Design Crowd, amazing designers from all around the world are going to compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. I've sold thousands of these designs on my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. Okay, so in the month of November, I did right around $50,000 worth of sales for my brand, and I only spent $4,500 on ads. And normally, I would spend $10,000, $15,000 on ads in a single month. But what I've realized through looking at the profit and loss statements for my brand with my bookkeeper multiple times is that the two main expenses for my brand are advertising and shipping, and all the little shipping costs that go with working with a fulfillment company, because I don't pack all the orders myself. I work with a fulfillment company that packs all of the orders and ships all the orders for me. So there's all these little expenses that go along with that as well. But after looking at the profit and loss statements with my bookkeeper over and over again for my clothing brand, I've realized that by far the biggest expense for my clothing brand that I need to keep an eye on and be really careful with is my advertising. I've kind of gotten out of this phase for my clothing brand where I'm trying to go for this crazy growth at all costs, like without looking at my profits all that closely just because I'm trying to grow the brand. And I'm kind of entered into this phase with my brand where I just like to run a really healthy, profitable clothing brand. And in order for me to do this, I really have to be careful about my expenses. And one of those big expenses that every month was really cutting into my margins and hurting my net profit was my advertising costs. And so the message that I want to share with you in this video is that I really don't think advertising should be your primary or say sole marketing strategy. I think that advertising should be supplemental to your organic marketing strategies. And I'm saying this from experience from somebody who's made this work for my own clothing brand. In the month of November, $4,500 on ads isn't really enough to get back like $50,000 worth of sales in today's, social media advertising climate. It just doesn't happen, right? So most of the sales that I got in the month of November were through my organic marketing efforts on social media, through email marketing, and through these other avenues that aren't like just charging you up the wazoo. Because if you're not careful on TikTok ads or on Facebook ads, they'll charge you $10,000 worth of ads pretty quickly. Like all of a sudden you'll notice that, oh my God, I just spent $10,000 worth of ads this month. What the hell happened? And so you have to be really careful. There's a classic quote by Henry Ford, literally the guy who invented Ford, the company, that says, stopping advertising to save money is like stopping a watch to save time. And I believe that this quote used to be true. I don't think that it's true anymore, because advertising isn't necessarily essential for small businesses, because you can get just as much attention and just as much results and sales for your brand by not spending money on ads and by just having a really effective marketing strategy on TikTok and on Instagram Reels. I mean, look at the Instagram Reels for my own clothing brand, K-Bud Apparel on Instagram, and just look at the views that those Instagram Reels get. Look at how much attention it gets. And, the same thing on TikTok. It's absolutely insane nowadays. And so that used to be true before social media existed, but I don't think that advertising needs to be the primary marketing strategy. And his brand's done 7 figures in the first 16 months running his brand. Is the percentage of your overall sales mainly from these just running TikTok posts and Instagram posts organically?
100%.
Wow.
It's that is what drives our sales, what drives our business, is why we're able to hire employees and build our staff and sell the clothes, is because
that is amazing.
We're putting out so much content.
What I suggest is having a really effective organic marketing strategy, and this will obviously take trial and error for you to figure out, and it'll also take you being consistent as the business owner, but then supplementing that with ads, using ads to retarget those people, because retargeting ads are the most effective type of ad that you can possibly run. So that's really my new strategy. That's the strategy that I'm running for my own clothing brand right now, is I'm not just blasting money into ads 24/7 because it eats into profit so much. And rather, I'm keeping an eye on my ad spend really closely, and I'm being really careful with it to be as effective as possible. But at the same time, really hitting social media with organic and working that email marketing and pushing these word of mouth promotions like giveaways and things like that. I think that that's a much more healthy way to run a clothing brand when you're trying to be profitable and you're trying to, have healthy margins. By all means, if you can make it work where you can just sit back and just run ads all day and that's all that you're doing, and you're getting all of these sales to be super healthy for your brand, everything is like perfectly in the profit zone, and you don't have to put a serious effort into your social media and into your organic, then honestly, go for it. That sounds amazing. But I'm sharing my experiences with you, and I think that, if all you're focused on is advertising, like I was focused on for a long time, where I wasn't really hitting organic hard and my primary focus was advertising, I think that it makes it so much harder to run a profitable clothing brand. So the more that you can make things work with organic, the more that you can get word of mouth traveling for your brand and get email marketing to work for you, the more it's going to be so much easier to have healthy margins for your brand and create, a successful brand in your own eyes. If you really take a step back and think about it, what small businesses have evolved out of, back in the day, before the internet, almost every small business could only thrive from word of mouth. Like they might invest in a billboard or something like that, but all of their business had to be built on word of mouth. It had to be built on having a great product or having a great service that people were telling their friends about, because small businesses just simply don't have the luxury that giant corporate businesses do of having, millions and millions of dollars to just blow on brand awareness, right? As a small business owner, you sort of need this quadratic spread from one person tells 2 people, 2 people tell 4, 4 tell 8, 8 tell 16, and it just kind of grows naturally like that. And I think that what a lot of small businesses are trying to do is they're trying to act as if they're like one of these corporate businesses that have all this money they can blow on ads, when they need their product, they need their message, they need their organic to be enough to sustain their business on their own, and then they can supplement that with ads. So I hope that really gives you a whole new way to look at things, and I hope that helps you grow your clothing brand better. My clothing brand marketing program is 50% off until the end of the year, and this is the last sale that I'm ever going to have. I break down real conversations I've had with celebrities and influencers to land endorsements for my own brand. I show you how to grow a real following on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube from scratch, and I show you how to set up, structure, and scale up Facebook ads and TikTok ads for your clothing brand. If you're interested, you can learn more about what's inside at clothingbrandmarketing.com, and I hope to see you inside.